I've got some advice here for you today on how to become hated, how you can stir up resentments and ill will that will simmer and hang on for years. All you have to do is criticize. No matter what a person has done or how he lives his life, he doesn't want nor does he feel he needs criticism. This is why a criminal can fly into a rage against witnesses, prosecuting attorneys, and judges. Although he may have committed the most serious crime and knows full well that he's committed it, he deeply resents those who by their actions are critical of him. The unfaithful husband or wife will, as often as not, fly into wounded self-pitying rage when confronted with evidence of his or her infidelity. Now, I'm not saying that people should not be criticized for criminal or moral misconduct, but I am saying that criticism makes a person try to justify himself. It wounds his precious pride, hurts his sense of importance, and thoroughly abuses and arouses his resentment against the person or persons doing the criticizing. When we criticize another person, we set ourselves above him. We become the figure of authority and place the other person in an inferior position. He automatically, he doesn't like us. We put the other person on the defensive, and even if he doesn't say anything and accepts the criticism meekly, it rankles. When the husband at the bridge table says to his wife, "Well, my dear, you bid that hand like a certified moron," she might not say anything. She might not say anything at the moment, that is, but she'll secretly pray for a miracle that would deliver a sawed-off shotgun into her hands. The other players squirm in embarrassment, and what does it accomplish? As Junius wrote, it behooves the minor critic who hunts for blemishes to be a little distrustful of his own sagacity. The best rule to use when criticism springs to your mind is to wait. Wait a while, and try to look for the reasons behind the act you would criticize. It's also a good time to ask oneself, who am I to be criticizing others? Am I really all that great and pure and all-knowing and perfect? By all means, wait until the heat of anger is dissipated. This is one of the world's most difficult things to do, and it takes a very mature person to master the wisdom and self-control to withhold criticism. But it's the way to greatness, and one of the best-known ways to earn the respect and or love of others. People know when they've done something wrong or foolish, and they usually know that you know it too. And when you refrain from being critical, they're grateful. They respect you. Often as not, they'll be much tougher on themselves and make a concerted effort to avoid making the same mistake again. It's been said that the legitimate aim of criticism is to direct attention to the excellent. The bad will dig its own grave, and the imperfect may safely be left to that final neglect from which no amount of present undeserved popularity can rescue it. It's a good line to remember. And now, just a moment for this message. As old Epictetus put it, do not give sentence in another's tribunal until you have been yourself judged in the tribunal of justice. The key to overcoming the urge to criticize others is to wait. Wait a minute, or an hour, or a day, or forever. It's as though the American people have won themselves another first. It's believed that the United States is now the blubber capital of the world. Someone has said that if, through some magic, all the excess weight of all our citizens were removed from their bodies and piled in one place, it would reveal itself as a great glistening, quaking mountain about the size of San Gorgonio Mountain, which rises 11,485 feet above the Mojave Desert in Southern California. This mountain of avoirdupois would represent the millions of tons of food that we've put away beyond what we need for good health and good-looking figures. I spent a long weekend at a resort hotel near Miami, Florida not long ago, and sitting at the pool, I looked around and marveled. It looked for all the world like the sea lion house at an oceanarium. It's amazing that human skin can stretch that far. There are, of course, two great contributors to this sad condition. One, our high standard of living and our abundance of good food, and two, mechanization. We don't walk anymore, we drive. Even kids don't walk much anymore, and adults are getting to the point where their legs are threatened with extinction. Weak, flabby, almost vestigial things, barely able to totter short distances under the abnormal weight pressing down upon them from above. Just as the man's life is automated, so is the woman's. Much of her work is being done by pressing buttons or flicking switches. She doesn't mix cake batter by hand or beat rugs or use a washboard or a broom or wring out and hang up clothes to dry, and all of this is good and can add years to her life and keep her looking much younger and healthier if she doesn't kill herself years too soon or destroy her appearance by becoming too fat. A woman who is 10 pounds overweight is doing to herself exactly what a woman of normal weight would be doing if she got out of bed each morning and then picked up 2 5-pound buckets of sand and then carried them with her every step she took until she fell exhausted into bed again at night. And the strain on her heart, on her poor feet and legs and muscles and tissues is the same too. And 10 pounds leads to 12, and then 15, and before you know it, it's 50 if you don't do something about it. And anybody, man, woman, or child, can lose weight any time he wants to. All a person needs to do is to quit eating more food than the body needs for fuel. Walk more, do more things calculated to burn up some of that stored blubber, but above all, stop eating so much. And please, don't ever pull that tired old line that goes, I gain weight and I don't eat a thing. There's still only one major cause of overweight, and that's eating more fuel than our bodies burn. And now, just a moment for this message. Becoming overweight is not a normal part of the aging process, and it makes no difference if all your ancestors were fat, and all it does is make you age faster and die younger. So don't do it. Thank you.
The picture you have of yourself, your self-esteem, will have a profound effect on the way you see the world and the way your world sees you. 1. You will become what you think about. 2. Remember the word imagination. Let your mind soar. 3. Courage. Concentrate on your goal every day. 4. Save 10% of what you earn and action. Ideas are worthless unless we act on them.